You are Locked On Phillies Postcast, part of Locked On Sports Philadelphia, on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
My, oh my, welcome to the show, everybody. My name is Mark Farzetta. This right here is your Locked On Phillies Postcast here on the Locked On Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Thanks for joining me. Great to have you along for the ride. Phillies stomped the Tigers with an 8-1 victory there in the Motor City to open up this 3-game series. Bryce Harper, incredible, with 5 RBIs on the night. Alec Bohm, 3 RBIs on the night. Oh, my goodness gracious. Aaron Nola dealing through his 7 innings, and we had a triple play in the ball game. That pretty much sums it up. Have a great rest of your night. Now, in all seriousness, this episode here of Locked On Phillies Postcast is brought to you by the amazing people at Prize Picks, the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Go to prizepicks.com/LockedOnMLB and use promo code, all lowercase letters, LockedOnMLB for a first deposit match up to $100. Let's start it off. Not with 3 big things, but let's start it up with this one thing just right out of the gate. First off, for you didn't catch the show yesterday after the Phillies were able to take the series win over the weekend against the Diamondbacks. File me under that is not a revenge series. All right, that was a play. That was the NLCS. All right, this is a regular season series. I'm happy the Phillies won. I don't relate it back to the Arizona Diamondbacks at all last year. Now let's fast forward to today. Oh, no, one more thing. Connor Thomas, thank you very much for being able to fill in for me on Saturday while I was at my baby cousin's wedding. Thank you so much for being a great fill-in for that. Appreciate you. Make sure you guys are locked in to Connor Thomas's Locked On Phillies podcast throughout the week. Make sure you're locked into that. As far as today goes, let's get into it. 3 big things with your Philadelphia Phillies. I'm going to start it off with Bryce Harper, number 1. Yes, before Aaron Nola. Yes, before Alec Bohm. Yes, before the triple play. Yes, before Garrett Stubbs getting 2 hits on the night. How about that? You know the man's batting like 300 over the last 30 days? You know the man's batting 300 over the last 30 days? Not too shabby, Garrett Stubbs. And I'm not going to start it off with the idea that Nick Castellanos and Trey Turner now have both 7-game hit streaks. Not too shabby there. But I'm going to start it off with Bryce Harper, because the man right now looks like he is going to win his 3rd MVP award. Yes, it will be difficult. Yes, there is competition. But when you have a 5 RBI night and you hit your 19th home run of the season, and you help get a triple play started. Really, you're the one that had the presence of mind to realize what the hell was going on at third base. You throw across the field, telling Alec Bohm to get back to the bag, throw across the field to complete the patented 1-3-5 double play. And did you hear it? Our friend Jason Stark put this out there on social media during the game. It's the first one in like 96 years or something like that. The first 1-3-5 triple play. It's the first one in like 95, 96 years. And the last one that happened 95, 96 years ago was also in Detroit. Go figure. I wonder if Ty Cobb involved at all? I don't know. But anyway, Phillies were able to get that going. But here's why Bryce Harper starts things off for me. You need a guy to be locked in. No pun intended. The way Bryce Harper is locked in right now. You get that average up over to 300. You're getting on base nearly 40% of the time with your on base percentage. You're just 1 home run shy of another 20 home run season, and you're leading the charge for this Phillies squad. Batting 3rd in this lineup, he is dominant. And obviously that's his spot in this lineup. I think it goes without saying the attitude and the character of this guy. When you're talking about a guy that just last year said, I'll play first base. You've never played it before. Whatever. After already locking up his first MVP as a Philly, his 2nd in his career, the man looks to be well on his way to the 3rd MVP trophy in his career. MV3, 3rd time's over. Well, technically he was 34 with the Nationals, but whatever. Everything you're seeing from Bryce Harper right now is fantastic. It really goes without saying. But in particular, you see him come up at the plate at the first inning there. Kyle Schwarber is able to get on base. Really, the floodgates opened big time in that first inning. You had an error there at shortstop, so Schwarber reaches. Turner gets the double. You have a situation there where you have a runner on 2nd and 3rd with nobody out. Bloop single, by the way, by Trey Turner. Harper steps up there, and he cranks a 2-run double to center field. Then Bohm gets up there. He hits the RBI, the 2-run home run, rather. He makes it a 4-0 ball game before you can even, take your first sip of beer in the stands at Comerica Park. And it was all because Bryce Harper helped get it going with that error in the first inning. But Bryce Harper, the biggest thing here is you cannot. The thing with the Phillies around the league has to continue to be you can't give them outs. And the Phillies, when they really sputter, they don't take advantage of the opportunities that some of these lesser teams are giving them. A perfect example of this is that first inning when the Phillies are going through a down spell, when they're losing series or losing back-to-back games consistently. When you're seeing that from this Phillies team, they're not taking advantage of the opportunities being presented to them. They are too good a team to not capitalize on those extra outs. If a team's going to give this Phillies lineup 4 outs in an inning, well, then the Phillies need to take advantage. And Bryce Harper capitalizing on that with that 2-run double, was exactly what you needed to see in that instance. And then Alec Bohm, obviously, after you're already up 2-0, puts the cherry on top. So Bryce Harper getting it going right there. And then Harper comes up with his 19th home run of the season. And that was on this is what was so great. This was what really made me think about Bryce Harper being locked in, okay? Not just the fact that he cashed in that first inning, but in that 6th inning when he stepped up to the plate, Pache drew a walk, Stubbs struck out, rough sliders he was taking there, but it happened. Then Schwarber works a walk. So now you got 2 runners on, first and second with 1 out. Trey Turner steps up, lines out to second base. Harper then steps up. He's got 2 outs in the inning. He goes down in the count almost immediately 0-2. After that, he takes 2 sliders way outside, doesn't chase them. Now, is he thinking he's going to get, in this particular instance, a fastball from Holton, or is he going to wait on a changeup? He chooses to wait, or he recognized that it was going to be a changeup. Holden threw him a changeup out over the middle of the plate, and Harper waited that extra downbeat and then just turned on that baseball on a 2-2 changeup out over the middle of the plate and crushed it down the right field line on a line drive home run to give the Phillies then a 7-1 lead. Every single time, I'll take it. And Bryce Harper absolutely locked in that at bat. Number 2 on this list, I'm going to go Aaron Nola. Aaron Nola has not exactly been a model of consistency this year. For the most part, yes. Some rocky starts, some very rocky starts, a couple really rocky starts, really, if I'm being fair. Maybe 2-3 rocky starts. But Zach Wheeler hit a bit of a bump. Aaron Nola hit a bit of a bump in Boston, most notably. So he needed to come out tonight and put a couple of good starts together, and this was brilliant. Great start by Aaron Nola. 7 innings, 1 run, 90 pitches. Yes, could he have gone after a 5-pitch 7th inning for Aaron Nola? Could he have come back out for the 8th inning? Certainly. However, that 8th inning ended up being a long top of the 8th inning. So then they decided to give Michael Mercado his major league debut. He got his first big league strikeout, and that was great. But it's the same type of philosophy that Rob Thompson instituted after taking Christopher Sanchez out last night. Christopher Sanchez, of course, was only at 80 pitches, could have gone more, but I'm sure the philosophy after the game, as Rob Thompson explained, was just get him out of the game. You don't need him. You got 2 bullpen guys that can come in and a 4-run lead that can protect that. You don't need to waste Christopher Sanchez right now. I assume it was something along the lines, a little bit more intense, simply because that Aaron Nola was at 90 pitches already. You took him out after the long layoff, and that was that. But all in all, no, I have no problem with it. I still love the days, certainly, where pitchers are out there and they're out there for 9 innings, and it's with great regularity. I miss the days of Roy Halladay and Cliff Lee, who were referenced during the game tonight, that they were all about the complete game. And tonight, unfortunately, that wasn't the case, and that's really not the case anymore in the big leagues. I still say unfortunately, because there's nothing more alpha male than a guy just going out there on the bump and being like, I'm going to do it myself. I'll take the ball from here on out. 9 innings. Don't worry about anybody else. Bullpen arms, take the rest of the day off. That's just not the game anymore. It's just not the game anymore. But Aaron Nola went out there. Knuckle curveball is looking good. He had 6 strikeouts overall in the ball game, locating his fastball well. When he did have those maybe 2 innings where he lacked a little bit of command, one was unfortunately fortunately, the 3rd inning where the triple play reared its beautiful head. You had McKinstry lead off with a single. Then Kelly came up with a single to center field, back-to-back singles to start the inning off. It was a runner on 1st and 3rd with nobody out. McKinstry's on third. Very important. Former Philadelphia Philly, Matt Vierling, a.k.a. Car Shield. Everybody get it? Who's going to get it? Okay. Car Shield's at the plate. He steps up, hits a liner back to Aaron Nola, who gloves it maybe a foot and a half off the ground. McKinstry is thinking it bounced, it hopped, whatever. It was a one hopper back to Nola. I don't know. Nola understands what the hell's happening here. Nola had already fielded the first out, fired to first base to record the second out. Harper sees McKinstry book it for home plate. Harper's yelling at Bohm, out, get out of there! Raffy! Because it was like, Raffy, get out of there! Bohm's like, what is even going on? And then Bohm gets on third base, and he records the third out for the triple play. Again, the 1-5-3 triple play. Not too shabby. In that inning, Nola looked like he was a little all over the place. Second inning as well, he lost his arm slot a little bit. He had Canna with a pitch, came up inside with a changeup, if I'm not mistaken. Perez went up there, got on the foul out to Garrett Stubbs on a 2-2 high fastball. But that was a long at bat that Nola was battling him. Stubbs made a good defensive play on that, realizing where the wall was in a lot of foul territory. That was in the second inning. That was also in the second inning where Alec Bohm forgot how many outs there were. Womp, womp. But Nola went out there and got out of the rest of that inning after giving up. Again, same situation. What I'm saying about the Phillies when I mention so many different good baseball teams you can't afford to give the extra out to, that really goes for any team, but especially the good ones, because if you give them extra outs, they're going to make you pay for it. A team like the Tigers, you gave them an extra out, and Malloy struck out on 3 pitches. So Nola wasn't frazzled by it, wasn't taken off by it. He just did his job. All right, I got to get one more out. 3 pitches later, he got that one more out. Malloy struck out on a sinker in just that 3-pitch at bat, so that was great. But other than that, Nola was pretty much locked in throughout this ball game, and that's exactly what you want to see. In the 5th inning, when he did give up a run, Malloy got the 2-out double to left field. Kelly stepped up there with the RBI single to center, and then he struck out Vierling in got Vierling to fly out to left field in a 9-pitch at bat. That's when they made it a 4-1 ball game in the 5th inning. And then the Phillies just kept on tacking on. After that, they made it a 7-1 ball game in the 6th, thanks to Harper's 3-run home run. And then Bohm got the final RBI with the RBI double to left field off the angled wall in left field on a 2-1 sinker that stayed up and in on Nola. On Bohm. Did a great job of turning with it. But anyway, Nola, fantastic tonight. Loved what I saw from him. Also loved the fact that he got through 7 innings with 90 pitches, better than a quality start. And obviously got the win, 9-3 now on the season, and lowered his ERA in the process. Number 3, I feel like Alec Bohm is in the midst of a bounce back. Had a little bit of a down period. Now he's up leading the team with a .313 batting average, .336 on base percentage. Does not lead the team. Harper's 401 does. But Bohm goes up there, 4 for 5 night, 3 RBIs, including his 9th home run of the season. I would love to see a power surge from Alec Bohm. I would love for the idea of 22, 23 home runs this year to be like a low point for him. Right now, you're talking about a guy who's on pace for about 20 home runs again this season. He had 20 right on the dot last year. Would love to see Alec Bohm be able to get to that spot. I mentioned the mental mistake. You hate to see it. It happens. It happened to him, unfortunately. He looked pissed off. Trey Turner came on and ran off the field with him, put his arm around him. Bohm wanted none of it, and he was pissed that he forgot the amount of outs there were in that second inning, making Aaron Nola face that extra batter. But he had already put up big runs in that ball game with the 2-run home run to put the Phillies, 2-run home run. 2-run home run in the top of that first inning to make it a 4-0 ball game. So it already done some damage. And wouldn't you know, that would just be the first of 4 hits for Alec Bohm in this game. So Bohm goes out there tonight, drives in 3, raises the average to .313. He now, after a little bit of a lull for Bohm, you see him be able to go up there, get the home run in the middle game in that 12-1 victory over the Arizona Diamondbacks. He comes out tonight with another home run to help the Phillies to this victory. You're seeing a guy that's right there, simply locked in. And what's really crazy about this game in particular, and we were talking about this on yesterday's show, when the bottom of the order guys are helping you win ball games, that's something special. That's helping some of your bigger bats get through maybe a little bit of a down period. Not the case necessarily tonight. Now, Dahl got a hit. Pache got a hit. Stubby had 2 hits today, was 2 for 5. He's now got his average for the season at 200. All right, so the parade will go down Broad Street to the stadiums, and then we'll all celebrate. But Bohm had 2 hits today. He's batting 200 now on the season. As I mentioned, about 300 in his last 30 days. But you're seeing in the bottom of the order 4 hits there by Dahl, who got 2 at-bats, Pache, who got 2 at-bats, and Stubbs, who got 5 at-bats. But then in the middle of the order, this was the star of the show. It was good to see Bryson Stott get 2 hits, but to see Bohm and Harper both hit tonight, that's tough for any, let alone the Tigers, let alone a guy like Mize who's trying to get through a season healthy and show the Tigers that he's worth the promise he was once worth. You have Bohm hitting like that after Bryce Harper. That's trouble. That is big time trouble. There's one concern, if I can call it that. I'll get into it. Is it nitpicky? Yeah, it's nitpicky. But I just want this so bad for this guy because this is his month. We'll talk about it when we come back. You're Locked On Phillies postcast right now on the Locked On Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. When we come back, talk about one member of the Phillies that I'm just hoping gets not just Alec Bohm, but another member of the Phillies gets that power surge going again. And we'll also see what you guys are saying about this latest Phillies victory, their 52nd win of the season. Not too shabby. Back in a second, Locked On Phillies postcast. Oh, you guys have heard me talking about FanDuel and how much fun you can have on FanDuel. I love sports. You guys know that. You love sports. I know that. I love them so much that I never want them to stop, really. But as the playoffs are winding down and some other sports, Stanley Cup Finals in particular, we look at fewer games. But the sports aren't just sportsing like I want them to. But when they're not, you have FanDuel because you find those sports with FanDuel. FanDuel lets me keep the sports going whenever I want. All I have to do is open up the app, dream up some bets, and anytime I'm in the mood. And FanDuel provides that. Whether it's the WNBA, for instance, you could take advantage. The NHL Stanley Cup Finals, you could take advantage of that. All summer long, hooking up customers with, how about this? All summer long, all customers, they get them with a boost or a bonus daily. That's right. A boost or a bonus daily. There's something for everyone every day, all summer long when you're talking about FanDuel. So head over to FanDuel.com/lockedon and start making the most out of your summer. That's FanDuel.com/lockedon. FanDuel, America's fantastic sportsbook. FanDuel, official sports betting partner of Major League Baseball. Prize Picks is always a party. It's always a party on Prize Picks. Prize Picks is America's #1 daily fantasy sports app with over 5 million active members. Prize Picks is the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Unlike other apps on Prize Picks, it's just you against the numbers. All you do is pick more or less. I did have more hits on Alec Bohm. I had more strikeouts, more than 5 for Aaron Nola. So my 2 predictions were correct. I hit more on both, and I hit it tonight. So you guys can do that as well. All you got to do is pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections and watch the winnings roll in. Get in on the daily action with your friends and become part of Prize Picks community today. With the finals over, we know that. WNBA still going underway. You guys can have fun with Caitlin Clark or Angel Reese. They just faced off against one another. You can have yourself a good time with Prize Picks. Prize Picks is available in more than 30 states across the country, including California, Texas, and Georgia. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use promo code LOCKEDONMLB for a first deposit match up to $100. That's Locked On MLB. Locked On MLB on Prize Picks for a deposit match up to $100. Pick more, pick less. It's just that easy with Prize Picks. Get into your comments momentarily here. Kyle Schwarber, came into the month of June on pace for 27 home runs on the season. Now he's on pace for 34 home runs on the season, is Kyle Schwarber. However, there is one tiny bit of a concern here with Kyle Schwarber, okay? Here it is. He's now homerless in his last 4 games. What the hell, man? Here's my thing, and I say this tongue-in-cheek, but I'm still saying it because I still want him to have this be his hottest month of the year. Kyle Schwarber so far in this month is sitting on 6 home runs. Now, why is that relevant? Because Kyle Schwarber's biggest home run month this year has been the month of April. Now, look, we still got some days left here. We got 7 days left in this month. April, right now, in April, he batted 106 times in the month of April. He had 7 home runs. He drove in 16 RBIs. This month of June, he has 74 at-bats. He has 21 hits, which actually matches his total from the month of April. He has scored 14 runs, and he's hit 6 home runs. He is 1 home run shy of tying his season high for a month of 7, and obviously 2 of setting a new bar. I would love to continue to rely on Kyle Schwarber to keep on mashing in June, but here's the even trade. Now, here's the positive spin on this, okay? That's just one thing I'd like to see. Some people might say it skews negative. I'm not saying it to be negative. I'm just saying I'm cheering him on for 7 home runs at least. Let's get to 8, right? But the thing that is really spectacular about Kyle Schwarber for the entire year has been the batting average. I mean, you're talking about a guy that was struggling to get to 200 over the last couple of seasons, okay? Now 250, 249 is where he's at now. If you would have told me you would have a 250 hitting Kyle Schwarber and still on pace for about 34 home runs, I'm a happy camper. And I predicted Kyle Schwarber hit 50 this year, simply because he wasn't going to have to come out of he wouldn't have to play as much left field. I don't have a problem with Rob Thompson having him left field in the middle game of that Arizona series, whatever. But seeing Kyle Schwarber go out there this year, kill it with on-base percentage, hit 250, it's almost as if we're seeing the results that we were supposed to see last year when we were talking about the shift going away. You're seeing a lot more production from Kyle Schwarber in terms of actually making contact, getting on base in that manner. So overall, I'm very the power numbers are down, but seeing him get on base still at a great clip, seeing his batting average go up there as well, all that's fantastic. And look, today, or the other day, he fired 0 for 5, and then he 0 for 4 today, or 0 for 5 with a walk today, reached on the air. I'll take that from Kyle Schwarber, especially if other guys like Alec Bohm and Bryce Harper are mashing, especially if Trey Turner and Nick Castellanos, well, Trey Turner didn't need to figure anything out. He just needed to be healthy. And now Nick Castellanos got another hit today. Yes, some other ugly at-bats, unfortunately. Got hit by a pitch in this game, so he was on base, twice? I'll take that. And if that's him turning the corner as well, I'm here for every second of it. Oh, yeah. And JT Realmuto is still not playing. So I'm here for it. I'm here for it every step of the way. Let's see what you guys have to say about this incredible Phillies season at this point. 52 wins on the year. Christopher Michael, that is domination. MV3, and a triple play. Hell yeah, Christopher. IBH, the train is rolling. Hells yeah. Double downer. First off, love the name. Bohm had a day as well. When Bohm is on, they have to pitch to Harper. Hell yeah. Faxi, what's going on? 3 and 4 were 7 for 10 with 8 RBIs and 4 runs scored. Not a bad night. John gets first members of the 15 strikeout club. Oh, yeah, that was pretty. Thank you for mentioning that. That was insane. So Mize is getting tattooed in the first couple innings of this ballgame. And he had 10 strikeouts in 4 1/3. 10 strikeouts in 4 1/3. Also 101 pitches, 66 of them for strikes. Gross. But 41. 4 1/3 innings of work, 10 strikeouts is redonkulous. And he gave up 9 hits. 10 strikeouts, 9 hits. No walks. He didn't walk anybody. And the Phillies, struck out 17 times with 15 hits. That doesn't happen, John. Thank you for highlighting that. Faxi, but 1 and 2 were 1 for 10 with 3 runs scored. You'd have to take that every day. Yeah, I guess. Ari, what's going on, Ari? Trying to take care of the Braves for you. Thank you, Ari. Best of luck to your Cardinals. What are your Cardinals? Are they playing tonight, brother? They're playing tonight. Yeah, they're playing tonight. No, the Cardinals did win. 8 games up on the Braves. And this is just a couple of days after a week after Brian Snicker was like, I'm not thinking about the wild card. I'm not thinking about the wild card. I'm thinking about winning the division. That was for the people just listening on the podcast, in case you didn't hear that was the greatest impression of Brian Snicker ever. So there you go. I do another one, but I got to put a mask over my face. Anyway, over my right eye. I think is that where the mask? No, it's over his nose. That's where the mask was. That was a fun year. Anyway, Cardinals did win 4-3. Despite the Braves, holy shnikes, the Braves scored 2 in the top of the 9th inning. What the hell, man? Braves were trying to make a game of it. That's how that went. Not cool, bro. Not cool. But anyway, the Cardinals did win. So the Phillies are now up 8 games again in the division on the Atlanta Braves. And how about this? With this victory, the Phillies improved to 6-4 in their last 10 games. With that loss, the Braves are now just 7-3 in their last 10 games. So Phillies keep on keeping on. 8 games up on the Braves right there. Thank you, Ari. Thank your Cardinals for us. Glad that no Kruk, no luck isn't a thing. It feels hollow without JK. Is that a thing? Did somebody start that saying? No Kruk, no luck? Because the Phillies won yesterday without Kruk in the booth. They had that other dude. I don't know if you maybe I've said this on the show. I don't know if I have or not, but I rarely ever listen to the announcers. If I notice the announcers, that means they are god awful. And there was some god awful announcing on the Apple broadcast, Cole Hamels night, and then Sunday. Kruk was there for both of them, but whoever the color analysts were in those last 2 games, I forget their names already, Candiato or whatever, and Spilborg or whatever. Good God, terrible. Terrible. Love Krucker in the booth. Actually, 17 Phillies struck out, and they managed to score 18 runs. That is pretty insane. Well, that's the Tigers being bad at baseball. That's what that is. Oh, yeah, John Marinelli. Did you notice that? That was so cool. So Michael Mercado comes out there. He pitches in the 8th inning, has a 15-pitch inning, gets his first strikeout on a curveball, nasty curveball. Nice 12-6 drop right there. Got his first strikeout, and they zoom in on his dad in the crowd, smiling in the family. And then what was also cool, I haven't seen too many teams do this recently, but remember like Rhys Hoskins' first big league home run? I remember back in the day, the Phillies had a prospect that they actually traded. I think he was in the Cliff Lee deal. Was he in the Cliff Lee deal? I think it was in the Cliff Lee deal. Lou Morrison was a catcher, and they made that trade, if I'm thinking of the right trade. And Lou Morrison hit his first big league home run at Citizens Bank Park, and they iced him out. They iced out Rhys Hoskins. I don't know. I haven't seen that too much recently. But anyway, Michael Mercado gets his first inning, scoreless, unscathed, 15 pitches, goes into the dugout, and everybody's high-fiving the hell out of him. And he just has a huge smile on his face from ear to ear. You absolutely love to see it. He's got to be going through that. Be going through that dugout thinking 2 things. And the second thing, yep, tired of carrying your asses. You know what I mean? That was pretty incredible. He didn't say that for the record. That's just me interpreting. Yeah, congratulations, Mercado, says Faxi. 1 strikeout, 1 flyout, ground out, perfect start to a career. Hells yeah. Remo, right there, same thing. Love and seeing Mercado's dad. How much do you love that? Brian, you like that dramatic reenactment of me doing an impression of Harper yelling at Bohm to get the third? Rafi! Crazy, great win. Hells yeah. Oh, yeah, Marshy, not a good night. Marshy was 0 for 5 tonight. That's no bueno. Would rather him not have to do that. Made a couple of nice plays in the outfield. 0 for 5. Yeah, 0 for 5. 254 for Marsh. 333 on base percentage. Yeah. Star Wars 8 up. Hells yeah. Crazy, thanks, Ari. Ari, holy pots and pans. That was unnecessarily close. For the people on the podcast, I edited that. Luca, what's going on, Luca? Bryce is the best hitter in baseball when he gets hot, maybe in general. Hells yeah. It was a great Snickers impression. That guy totally copied Charlie May. Someone asked why it was a 1-3-5 triple play, and it took me a few minutes to explain. Made me question my baseball knowledge. All right. Buddy Christ, since you bring it up, my daughter's 4, little toots, right? She's about to be 5. Oh my God. She's about to be 5. And she's in the other room and a triple play happens. And I yell, her name's Emmanuel. I said, Emmanuel, get over here. Look, this never happens. This doesn't happen. And she looked at it and she goes, they got so many outs, just like that, right? I had kind of told her, look, 3 outs in one play. Wow, they got so many outs. And then she said, I have a 2-year-old son. She goes, wow, Leo pooped on the floor. Thank you. So while McKinstry was pooping the bed, so was my son. Except no, it wasn't the bed. It was literally on the living room floor. So there you go. Dad life. Buddy Christ, thank you for bringing that up. Appreciate you. Back at you. Yeah, the Detroit player was smiling that he just ran himself into a triple play. That guy, McKinstry, would be crucified in Philadelphia. The Rocco one? Yeah, that was pretty terrible. All of it was pretty terrible. Ari Stein, it was close cause. Numbskull manager is over. Oh, boy. I need a midseason Rob Thompson to save us. I need a hero. That's funny. Joseph Jackson, what's going on? Marsh had a tough night, but that's okay. He can help tomorrow when someone else is off. Phillies pick each other up very well. Thank you, Joseph Jackson. Mercado is one tall kid. How tall is he? Is he 6'7"? He's only 6'4"? Thought he was taller than that. Star Wars triple play was nice. That was nice. Hey, Joseph in Rincon, Puerto Rico, enjoying the nightlife, but had to tune in for the Phillies highlights. There you go, baby. Nice to have you. Hola, ¿cómo estás? ¿Dónde está el baño? El baño, por favor. That's all I got. 8 years of Spanish. I should have had a better attitude in school. When we come back, we'll tell you where the Phillies are headed next. It stays in Detroit. Game 2 of this series against the Tigers. That's when we come back. Appreciate you guys. I appreciate you, Joseph Jackson, in particular, in Puerto Rico. Muchos gracias. Amigo. You're welcome. All right. We'll be back in a second with my dumbass. I'll be back in a second. Oh, my goodness gracious. Do you know how incredible it is to be a member of Supply House, supplyhouse.com? Oh, my goodness gracious. You guys don't even know. I got a lot of building projects in the house. We moved into a new house about a year ago. Supplyhouse.com, it's where it's at. All right. I got a lot of family and contractors. They know what they're doing. Electricians, plumbers, all that stuff. But how about this? You can get supplies from the site that's made for the skilled trade. Supplyhouse.com. Supplyhouse.com is a reliable way to order plumbing, HVAC, and electrical products online. Their easy-to-use website is packed with helpful resources and the latest product info to help you get the job done right. Shop a complete inventory of over 200,000 parts from over 400 top brands and get your order delivered right to your door with fast shipping from coast to coast. Need help with an order? Get an expert support and industry-leading service from the friendliest folks in the business and talk to a real person every time. Pros in the skilled trades can get a competitive edge by joining supplyhouse.com's free Trademaster program. Every Trademaster gets access to dedicated phone lines as well as a free shipping and discounts on every order. Join the thousands of trade pros already benefiting from their free membership at supplyhouse.com/TM. That's supplyhouse.com/TM and order plumbing, HVAC, and electrical supplies from anywhere with just a few clicks at supplyhouse.com. That's supplyhouse.com. Your Philadelphia Phillies best winning percentage of the game of baseball. You're going to be back at it tomorrow night. That's right, another 6:40 start time in the Motor City to take on the Detroit Tigers. That's what we're looking at right now. By the way, those New York Yankees have lost lost 7 of their last 10. So they're 3-7 in their last 10 games. How about that? But tomorrow night, Phillies will look to keep on keeping on when it comes to improving on that record. The 52-26 Philadelphia Phillies will take on the now 36-42 Detroit Tigers. In that game, Ranger Suarez gets on the hill. He goes against Tariq Skubal. He's 8-3 on the season with a 2.50 ERA. Great matchup for tomorrow night's game. Ranger Suarez 10-1, still in search of his 11th win of the season. Come on, boys. Ranger Suarez coming off a 6-inning, 1-run performance in that 5-2 loss, unfortunately, to the San Diego Padres. But Suarez did not take the L in that one. Major League leading 1.75 ERA on the season. As for Schoolball, 27 years old, left-handed pitcher, Haywood, California, 8-3 on the year with a 2.50 ERA. He is coming off 2 starts where that ERA has ballooned against the Astros and the Braves. He has allowed 8 runs over his last 2 starts. He's allowed 9 runs in total, 8 of them earned, 3 home runs, 3 walks, striking out just 9 in 10 1/3 over his last 2 starts. Not too good. So that's the matchup for tomorrow. 6:40 start time. I'll be on with you guys for your Locked On Sports Philadelphia postcast, for your Locked On Phillies postcast. Make sure you guys hit like and subscribe on the Locked On Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. That's Locked On Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Be back with you guys tomorrow night. Like and subscribe. See you guys then. Have a great rest of your night. Let's go, Phils.